said they can paint them or leave them. Because if you
Thank you all for coming. A little more from me in a second, but to begin this concert, would you all please rise, remove your caps, and sing out as the 7th grade choir sings our national anthem under the direction of Mrs. Teresa Decker. Thank you, ladies, for singing. So tonight we have our award ceremony as well, so we're going to try to keep things as smooth as possible. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Just as a couple things, please remember to at least silence your cell phones, and if you are a student, turn it off. I shouldn't see anything. Mostly looking at the boys that were all looking like this when I walked down. Anyway, we're going to get started with the 6th grade band. They've been working all year to present what they're going to play. There's a good combination of duets, a couple of different things here and there, and the last tune that they're going to play is an actual band tune where there's different parts for every different instrument, and so yeah, that's what we got for you.
Where'd it go? Tonight we are excited to share a song from Matilda the Musical called When I Grow Up. This song is all about dreaming big and imagining what life will be like in the future. It reminds us that growing up is full of hopes, possibilities, and a little bit of wonder.
When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
When I grow up, I want to be a race car driver.
That I need to reach to climb the tree.
Alright, this is the section 4. We're going to keep them up here to save some steps back and forth and do the lettering and some, the letters. I think we'll do it in some of the medals. So I'm going to go with starting. Here we go. Thank you. My assistant. Okay. First of all, I want to acknowledge too that region we had solos as well, some did solos, and we had two superiors, two ladies did a solo, and I'd like them to come and get their medal. We had Maddie Berman. Maddie Berman had a solo, and also Emma Ackman had a vocal solo as well. And what we'll do is I'll start with the freshmen, and we'll just, you all, in order to letter, I will read here, to earn a letter in chorus, you are required to participate in chorus throughout the whole year, be part of the Christmas concert and the spring concert, and have also attended the Region Small Group. So they all letter, they all, except for we have two girls that came at this half semester, second semester. So otherwise, they would have been all year. I would love to have the girls. But so we're going to start with the freshmen, and those that are freshmen, they also get, some of them are getting their first letter as well. Oliver Blue. All the freshmen come up here. Come in the door. Madeline, Cundy, Connor Grant, Trey, Katie, and then just Tristan, Conchak, Jada, Myers, Alicia, Esther, and Thomas Stewart. The sophomores, Carter Arbeiter, Bryson Blue, Lindsay Carter, Mariah Conley, Ava Mooney, and Taylor Stewart. Our juniors, we have a lot of juniors. This is great. Maddie Burma, Arabella, who's ill tonight. Sorry. Emma Ekman, Alexis Hansen, Tony Myers. We have Mona, Nikolai, Lucas Pesky, Aiden Carey, and Tabitha Rose. We get all the next year at the juniors. And as a man, they all come out for choir, right, juniors? Yes, yes. All right, then sadly the seniors, I've had a great group of seniors to work with for the last 4 years, and a few of them for 5. So seniors, come up and get your last letter, and then stay up here. I'll just have, we have Kirby Miller. Yes. Love having Kirby for the first time. Stay up here, guys. Keith Newhart, Rexton Blue, Isaac Peterson, Rayson Tim, Kirby, I'm sorry, I did you twice, Kirby. Kara Kamen, Natalie Cundy, and Jocelyn Cunningham. I just want you all to look, there's a lot of talent in this line. They have been amazing to work with for almost all of them for 4 years. I think Kirby came back to us, so. We were glad, we were all happy to have, and I will miss you guys. You've been a great backbone and great examples. So keep singing, okay? Yes, and graduate first. All right, here's our seniors. All right, so as you go back to your spots, we'll start with the girls. You want to get the basket. So the medals, if you girls want to come and grab for the ensemble and then go to your spots, and then the boys can go that way on the other side. Can I go that way? Girls go this way. And they're just going to get their medal for the superior at contest. We're trying to save them all coming back up and down. So, all right, go ahead, and girls go this way, Natalie, and boys, Oliver, you're going that way. There we go. All right, thank you. And then just- All right, Emma and Mariah, and Aiden, come on up. Because you're doing, we got Allstate, thank you. So I'll do that while half two of them are up here already. So we went to Sioux Falls this year, and we have 4, but one is Arabella was the soprano, and Mariah was our tenor, Emma, alto, and Aiden was our bass. Sadly, he was sick. He did get to stay in the motel, and I don't know, I felt so bad for him. He tried, he did. He went out Friday night, we had a short session, and he got to take a picture with the conductor. That was worth it, maybe. And then he tried, and he went back to, and his mom can attest, because she came and, yeah, then he went home. He did get the picture, though. So hopefully he did learn something, I don't know. But these 3, and plus Arabella had a great weekend. They did a lot of great stuff with the conductor. I think it was one of the best, a lot of fun. So next October. And then I want Emma, you can sing her, but Emma also, this last summer, since we've had our spring concert, she was in senior honor choir. It's very hard to get in, and in July, she went to Northern for a week. It's a camp, but she was 30, it's like Allstate, I call it Allstate Course on Drugs, because out of 1,000, kids that were in Allstate course, only 120 are in this, and it's very hard to get in. She was 30 in the state, and what was really cool was she was the only one from the B school. There was double A's. I mean, that was what I thought was really cool. So I think she had a good time. She learned a lot and came back to us and shared all the knowledge and expertise. So give her a hand. That was, she got all of her. Okay, I'm going to be about done here and have the plaques for high school chorus. Maybe I'll let Mr. Glow take over. We have a Rising Star Award as well. This award is given to a freshman or sophomore who is an emerging leader in the vocal department. This recipient exhibits ongoing responsibility and growth in the ensemble and solo voice work, demonstrates leadership and responsibility, has been active in facets of the program. So I have 2 plaques here for Ava Newman and Mariah Conrad. Another idea is called the Outstanding Vocalist, and this award is given to a chorus member who has demonstrated achievement, leadership, inspiration, initiative, and service to the vocal program through the use of their voice. And I have 2 awards here. One is Arabella Dysel will be getting a plaque, and she comes as well. And then Emma Ekman. All right, I also give out a senior Honor Vocal Award. This award is given to a senior who was in All-State Chorus as an alternate or All-State member and has participated in the region contest all 4 years. The senior has shown great musicianship, leadership, and commitment all 4 years. Keaton Newman, come on up. All right, last one, I promise I'm done. I have an award that's called the Choral Director Award. It's given only once to a choir student who has shown dedication to the choral program through musicianship, leadership, commitment, and has an exceptional demeanor. And I don't know if you guys were listening, if you were eating at the fundraiser, there was a young lady that played for the last part. And she's one of my keyboarding students, but also she's an amazing vocalist as well and been a great. So Kara, you're giving me the look. Come on up.
Second to the 5th grade band, it's your turn. While these 7th to 8th graders are coming up, I'm going to pick on 3 of them. A new thing that we did this year was some of us attended the Dakota Wesleyan Honor Band. It's only the 2nd year it's ever happened, so it's a brand new honor band. And 3 of our middle schoolers got to go, and unfortunately it was on a Wednesday, so that kind of led to a lot of scheduling errors. If it wasn't on a Wednesday, I know we would have gotten a lot more than just 3. But with the following middle schoolers, while you're grabbing your instruments, come receive your pin. Fernanda, Willie, and Lee. So, if you've ever been to one of my concerts, middle school band isn't normally something we have performed by themselves, but I looked at this group of instrumentalists and the instrumentation was right, so that always helps, but also the musicians were right, so I couldn't pass up the opportunity to do something with them. So I hope you enjoy Hope Rising by Tyler Grant. Thank you. High school band students, I'm going to call you up as you letter. So when your name is called, come up and receive your letter and grab your instruments. Starting with Connor Nate and Alicia Ostrich. Ostrich. Next up, Mariah Connors. Connor Holmes. Ava Newman. And Taylor Toole. Tabitha Rose, Mona Nikolai, Arabella Deisel, Wilbur Stewart, Emma Ekman, and Alexis Hansen. And finally, our seniors, Jocelyn Cottingham and Rayson Chin. So while they're ready, a couple little things about the songs we're going to perform. The first one was, at the beginning of last year, I asked the band if they wanted to play any new tunes for Pep Band, and I'm thinking like standard Pep Bands, Pep Band tunes to add on, or a pop tune or whatever. And the very first thing out of Jocelyn's mouth is Little Einsteins. Not exactly what I was thinking, but I figured her last concert, we should probably play it. So that's our story for our first tune, and I'm going to fill some more time while they're getting ready. Time filled. Please enjoy. So on top of the middle school DW awards, I also have a middle school most improved and a middle school MVP. And in order to gain the middle school That was a secret, sir. In order to gain the middle school most improved, it's pretty self-explanatory. It generally goes to a 7th grader as they have the most amount to improve. So that's not anything against them, that's just kind of how the dice roll. So this year's most improved goes to a young lady who came in and how do I say this? Didn't necessarily love the way the high school band was run. It was a little chaotic, and she didn't necessarily love that. But she finally got up to speed. It didn't take her very long. But she is turning into a very nice young musician, and I'm very, very pleased with where she's come and excited to see where she goes. This year's middle school, the other one, most improved goes to Addison Newman. Our middle school MVP is generally someone who really helps this ensemble. 7th and 8th grade band, while fun, we enjoy ourselves. If you can help out the larger ensemble and the high schoolers, you got a pretty good shot at it. And not to give it away, but we gained a very talented 8th grader this year, and he was helping not only his section, but also some of the high schoolers in other sections, and just a very well-rounded musician. And tried out for middle school all-state band, didn't get it, unfortunately, but he was very close. So this year's middle school MVP goes to Leland. And before our last tune, I'll give out the high school DW honor band members. We had 2 go to the high school version, and same thing, it was on Wednesday. We would have had more if it wasn't, but the DW members that went were Alicia and Mona. Not to get too long-winded, but so our next song, you might have noticed the title is a little weird. That's my fault. But if you've ever been to a wedding, you've recognized it. It's Canon in D by Pachelbel, which as a trombonist, I can't stand. So in order to make it more palatable, I decided to change it a little bit. So my choir director in Northern had the idea of the choir, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, as a sandwich, and the sopranos and the basses being the bread. And, well, yes, you might have caught on to why there's sandwich bread in front of you. The sopranos and the basses are very needed, but without them, it's not very interesting. Couple slices of white bread, you know. The altos and the tenors make it more interesting. So that's what this next piece is built around. He didn't let me introduce him, but I generally try to feature my seniors on this one, or on their last concert. So Jocelyn got the piece that she wanted, and not to mention that I've abused her over the years, so she could take this break. And Rayson will return eventually. While he's doing that, I'll point out the small group solo winners. We had 2 young ladies get superiors at small group contest, which is just fantastic. Mona and Emma, come here. Oh wait, Mona, come back. So, admittedly, I made a mistake. This was supposed to go to her last year, and, well, luckily neither of us left. So I can give this to her this year. On top of the one that she should be getting this year, Mona here got to go to the North Area Honor Band in the first weekend in December. And it's where she gets to go and perform with a lot of really big schools, actually. You know, Aberdeen Central, the big schools around there, and a lot of Watertown people. And Mona got to be our representative, which is super awesome. And she gets a pin that I definitely didn't forget to give her last year, and definitely don't know where her one from this year is. So she's gonna get one, and eventually I'll get her other one. So I have 3 more awards. The big one I'll do first, I guess, is the John Philip Sousa Award. It's generally given to a senior, but that's not a requirement. It's just given for leadership. It's given for marching. John Philip Sousa, the March King. And so, between my 2 seniors, one of them has been a steadfast leader through this program the entire time that I've known her. And being as I gave it away, Miss Jocelyn Cunningham. This year's High School Most Improved goes to a young lady who has took it upon herself to have, or at least try to have, weekly lessons with me. The 9th through 12th graders are required to do 1 lesson a quarter, so 4 lessons a year. She more than quadrupled that with her amount of lessons that she got, and it shows. She was someone who tried out for All-State Band, for high school All-State Band, which is no small thing in itself, but unfortunately didn't make it in next year, but there's always, it didn't make it in this year, there's always next year. This year's High School Most Improved goes to Mona Nicolai. And finally, our high school MVP goes to someone that I know that I'm going to miss dearly next year, and someone that I know that I have not appreciated near as much while I had her. She really was the heartbeat of this band, and I couldn't have done a lot of the things that I tried to do this year without her. So before I cry, I'm going to give this to Jocelyn. And with that, Surfer Rock. Enjoy Hawaii Five-0. Last thing, please help me tear down. There's donkey basketball happening tomorrow, and all of this needs to go before then. So please help us tear down if you would. Thank you.
Cheers.